Hi, and welcome to this episode of Gone with the Gale. Today will be the second day of touring, our third day of travel, in this trip to Scotland. We'll spend the day in Edinburgh. We get an early start so that we can see the Edinburgh Marathon, and maybe, just maybe, we'll get to see a famous celebrity running in the marathon. After that, we walk through Old Town to see the Elephant House where JK Rowling wrote most of Harry Potter, Victoria Street, the inspiration for Diagon Ally, and Kristi gets a tattoo. After that, we return to our hotel to join our tour group for the rest of our stay and go to dinner at the Surgeons' College, where Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's inspiration for Sherlock Holmes worked. Will we find our luggage? Will it arrive as planned? Find out in this episode of Gone with the Gale. It was a cold and foggy morning. We had to go from our hotel in Leith, check out, and then check into a hotel in the Grassmarket area where we would join our bus tour for the remainder of our trip in Scotland. One of my favorite hobbies is to trace my family's ancestry. Before the trip in the fall, I had found just one Scottish ancestor. I didn't have enough information on him to actually do anything with it, but I had hoped that maybe in the meantime I could find some more. Exactly 1 week before I left on this most recent trip, I had checked into Ancestry.com, clicked on William Hutchinson, my ancestor, and managed to find a leaf. This leaf led me to his wife, his parents, his grandparents, and his great-grandparents. I now had 4 generations of Scottish ancestors to work with. Upon doing some more research, I found my 10 times great-grandmother had been christened at St. Cuthbert's Cathedral, shown in this picture through the fog. St. Cuthbert's is located in the Prince's Garden, just underneath Edinburgh Castle. It was quite interesting to know that she was christened in 1634 in that very building, and I got to see it that morning on the way to our new hotel. We stopped at the Novotel and checked Kristi's bag with the bellman. They were going to hold her bags while we went walking for the day. We both had to carry our great big backpacks because our little backpacks were in our checked luggage. We also talked with the front desk, and they were willing to sign for our bags should they be delivered by the airline. They said that they would hold them either in their baggage room or they would take them up to our rooms if it was later in the day. So off we went, off to see the Edinburgh Marathon and catch a glimpse of one of our favorite actors who was running in the marathon that morning. We were there early enough that we got a prime place, right at a corner, so that the crowd would split as it made the turn so we'd have a better chance of seeing our favorite actor from Outlander, Sam Heughan. It was a cold and chilly morning, but we braved it because we were ready and we had front row seats, well, a front row place to stand, so that we could see the marathon. In this clip, you can see him run by in real time, which took like 3 seconds, and then I slowed it down using slow-mo so that you can actually see him go by. Sam is wearing a blue and white hat, a blue and white shirt, blue shorts, and he slightly turns his head away as he goes by. His bib number is 2400. After the marathon passed by, we turned and walked up the street, passing the National Museum of Scotland here on the right, and on to our next stop, Greyfriars Churchyard, or as they say, Kirk and Kirkyard. Here you will find the famous grave of Greyfriars Bobby. Bobby was the dog whose master passed away when he was about 2 years old. For the next 14 years, he would go and lay on his master's grave in the churchyard every day. He was given a place of honor in front of the kirk, and his own stone. It's tradition to leave sticks for Bobby on his gravestone when you visit. Here are some other sights from around the Kirk yard. Just outside the churchyard across the street is the statue to Greyfriars Bobby. His loyalty is example for us all. This is the Elephant House Cafe. This is where a young single mother named JK Rowling sat to write her very first novel. I'm pretty sure you've heard of it. Harry Potter. It's not far from here that you find Victoria Street, the inspiration for Rowling's Diagon Alley. We'll visit this street a little later in one of my other videos. We continued up the hill, past St. Giles Cathedral on the Royal Mile, and down the street just a little bit to Studio 13 Tattoos, where Kristi got a Celtic-inspired tattoo. Afterwards, we walked down the other side of the hill towards Princess Street and went to Primark. And since we didn't have another change of clothes, and it didn't look like our luggage was going to be there, we bought some shirts, and I bought a small bag so I didn't have to carry my large backpack around the rest of the day. We were then able to check into the Novotel. We went into our rooms, called the airline to find out that our luggage would not be delivered that day, maybe the next day. So we were glad we had bought an extra change of clothing. We then joined our tour group, took the bus, and went to the Surgeons College, where we were served dinner. The importance of the Surgeons College is this is where a young man named Sir Arthur Conan Doyle studied under the tutelage of a Professor Bell. Professor Bell would be Doyle's inspiration for his most famous character, Sherlock Holmes. After dinner, we returned to the hotel and then took an Uber to Asda, their version of Walmart, to pick up a few more supplies that we weren't able to find earlier in the day. By the time we got home, we were hungry. We ordered room service and called it a day. Thanks for watching. Be sure to click the subscribe button and hit the little notification bell so that you can be notified every time I upload. Thanks!